Yo, look what TFSafari sent me. That is Xingjiang's Devastator, and look how well it goes with the core class figures and also the block keys line as well. And if you're not familiar, that is an oversized version of DX9's Hulkie, but he comes with the new head and also a few new accessories as well. He got these drill hands a la Gurren Lagann, and they're on 5mm, and these just slot into his wrists. Very, very nice. I'll showcase that in a little bit. He also comes with these blasters. The purple one, this one is native to Hulkie, and it sits in his hand very well. But this black one appears to be a micronized version of Gravity Builder's blaster, and this one unfortunately does not sit on his hands, sit well in his hands. He also comes with the individual blasters for the individual Constructicons, and also the bar, the Hulk Smash bar, and so that's kind of cool. But let me show you how he looks like with some of the other characters. He looks great with the Dinobots in my opinion, and I can show you some of his articulation as well. Alright, before we square and pair him up with the Dinobot, I did want to show you the face sculpt, the head sculpt, the new one. I think that looks really, really nice, dude. It's super well done. It's very different from the standard Hulkie head. That one is a little bit small and diminutive. I don't have it with me. I don't know where I actually put it. But the unfortunate thing about this is it can no longer store convincingly in Hook's chassis, whereas the native one you could. It just kind of protrudes. I mean, you can still transform it and stuff like that, but it just kind of like hangs out and you got to live with it. And I'll show you what it looks like in alt mode and also bot mode. Let me also show you some articulation as well. So right now, because of all the bits over here, you can't get too much range of motion on this, but what you can do is you can flip this around. And I know that looks kind of unsightly because there's like an open gap there, but what you can do is with that gap, you can actually move it up so that the treads kind of sit within the gap, so to speak, and you can get a deeper elbow bend, and I think that's cool. Same thing with this one. You can't really raise it too much. However, if you, what the heck was that? Oh, whoa. Yo, I heard some buzzing noise around me. I thought it was a bug. It might be. But yeah, you can kind of like do this. I think that's pretty convincing, man. I think that looks well done. I can live with it. I can live with it. And this is the spinning drill, Gurren Lagann style. Really cool, man. Really, really cool. As far as the waist goes, he does have these hip skirts and stuff like that. The bend is limited just because there's a lot of just like collision over here. I don't think I could move it any further. If I were to shave some of this off, perhaps, but right now there's hard collision there. You could probably move it back and perhaps fasten this, but unfortunately that's as far as it will go. And same thing for this as well. You can do that. Basically, I pulled it down a little bit so you can do this. And so yeah, you can get some of that, and perhaps you can do the same over here. But this is where it gets kind of a little tricky. So I was able to move the legs up like that. However, in doing so, you will damage the plastic a little bit. But I did it intentionally just because I wanted to give him more range of motion. You see that plastic, how it's kind of like worn away. The plastic is very durable, by the way. I know it looks super glossy, and perhaps that may imply that it's cheap. I guarantee you it's not. It's very, very sturdy and durable. And the tolerances are so tight, I thought it might break and stuff, but no, it's been doing everything fine. I do wish they used a little bit of toy lube, some just to get the friction a little bit more manageable. But yeah, there is that. But again, you can push it through, and so you can do this. But you do need to also fold these up as well. And so yeah, if you have some type of like stand, you could definitely get them into some cool poses, and I'm okay with that. But it is definitely limited, and you got to play with it. Also, you have an ankle rocker over here. You know, I owned Hulkie at one point, and I thought Scrapper had it as well, but I could be hallucinating, just phantom memories or something. And that's too bad, because when you set him down, he can, rock the foot over here, but this one can't. But he can still stand, and that looks nice, man. But it would have been nice if this had a little tilt on there as well. The arms, they move 360, and they can also move up and down, and they're just plugged in using these two prongs that I'll show you later. The waist, there isn't much, but you can kind of fake it if you want. So what you can do is it's plugged in 3 places, one over here, then one here, and then one here. And then what you can do is you can actually lift this up while still keeping the front tabbed in, and that will give you this kind of like faux crunch and make it look like he's looking down. I'm okay with that, dude. That's super cool. I set up some shots where he's looking down on Optimus before he like shreds him. And I like that. I think that's cool. But again, it is just kind of plugged in using the arms. It's much more sturdier if you get that back piece in there. But at least you have some options. But yeah, so now I've shown you some of the articulation, giving you a sneak peek of the head and these accessories and how it works. Let me set up some shots so that you can see them with Optimus, some of the Dinobots and stuff like that, because I think they scale really, really well. And I'm not typically one who kind of dabbles in scale and focuses on it too much, but for this guy, I think that's the selling point. If you want a good Devastator that fits in with your core or your blockies, dude, I think this guy does it, man. He really, really does. And he's only 30 bucks. And that includes shipping and everything. But anyway, let me set up some shots so we can take a look at how he scales with the Dinobots and stuff, okay? Hey, really quick with the commercial break from our sponsor, TFSafari, TFSafari.com. Check them out for all of your mecha needs from first, second, third, fourth party. They also do upgrades as well. You're not going to find a lot of sites that cater to different tastes and needs. TFSafari.com. And if you do go there, utilize the codes that you see on the top right corner of the screen and save yourself a little bit of change, man. They are a very reliable vendor. They are out of China. They ship to you in about 2 weeks, super sturdy boxes. And yeah, TFSafari.com. Can't say enough nice things about them. And so thank you so much, TFSafari, for sponsoring this video. All right, here he is with the Blockies Dinobots. And dude, I think that scales really, really well, man. I mean, granted, he is a little bit taller. He is. And I'll show you later when I compare him against the Blockies Constructicon. But nonetheless, I feel like that scale works well. I really, really do. And it's not that I dislike the Blockies Devastator. I like that one a lot. But I don't know, man. I kind of like it that he's 10% bigger than them. And just overall, I think it just pairs up really nicely. And even the aesthetics, because he is somewhat simplified, it just kind of lends itself to the core class aesthetic or the Blockies aesthetic. And so I think he can fit in a lot of different lines depending on what you are collecting. But yeah, man, really, really pleased with how that looks like. And I can show you him with the Dinobots in their bot mode. So what do you guys think? Do you think it scales well? I mean, am I tripping, dude? Am I the only one? I feel like it works really, really well, man. I love it. I absolutely love the way they pair and square up with one another. I think this is going to be my de facto core class, Legends, Blockies, whatever Devastator at this particular scale. Anyway, now that I've kind of shown you how he scales and shown you some of the articulation, let's break him down so that you can see the individual bot modes and also the alt modes as well. And it's pretty simple in terms of how all of this works. It's just plugged in using those two prongs over there. And I may need a spudger at times, but yeah. So this, it's a tight fit, but you can just kind of get it out. And again, that is a 5 milli. And so this thing over here, you're going to spin around and you will have it tucked in like so. And this is really cool. Other than the fist that you add on here, it's actually all, what is it? It's an all-included Devastator. So big props to DX9 for making this way back when. I don't even remember when this came out. It was a long, long time ago. The original version of Hulkie, that is. And then this kind of seals up. I think this turns around like that. And yeah, it does that. And I love the fact that there are little tabs over here to kind of keep everything in place. But I feel like I'm doing something wrong right now. Something's not quite sitting right. Maybe it's supposed to be like that. Okay, yeah. I think it's just like that. And then this will tab in there. This will tab in there. You'll take this piece, then you will straighten this out to reveal the little driver's seat. And this is kind of cool. The arm is bent over here, right? It's asymmetric, but I think that's nice. And then this, you kind of bring down. And here you go. You have the excavator. And this even turns. Neat. Neato completo. Not bad, right? Super duper simple, but not bad at all, in my opinion. And so to transform him into bot mode, we will just undo the legs. I mean, it's super easy. He does come with instructions. They're a little bit hard to read, but I think it's just because I'm old and they're small print, you know, and I can't zoom in. But like, people sometimes say like, hey man, you're too hard on yourself for being old. And I'm like, nah, man, it's all good, dude. I mean, I say old, not in a negative way. It's just like a fact. You might be young right now, but I guarantee you're going to get old too. It's just a part of life. And this folds up. And then you can push that back up. And then you can do this. And you can do that. Then you can do this. You can do that. And he does have a ball joint knee over here so that you can kind of move that around. But that's pretty much him. And in terms of how he looks with another Constructicon from Blockies, one sec. Here he goes. He's about like 25% taller, I would say, roughly. Something like that. But still, in combined mode, I feel like it has a lot of presence. And even though it isn't perfect, I do like that imposing stature that a combiner of Devastators kind of reputation has against these smaller bots. And so, yeah, not perfect, but I think it still works well. And so let me set these guys off to the side, and we'll take a look at Bonecrusher. It's more or less the same thing. It just plugs in using the two-prong, kind of looks like an electrical outlet type thing. Oops. Then we're going to get the fist over here. We're just going to pop that out. Same thing over here as well. We're just going to spin this. And I do wish they had some toy lube. Really, really. Some like oil or some silicone-based something. Just because it's really, really tight in certain areas. But thankfully, the plastic is pretty sturdy. And despite it being very glossy and looking cheap, it is not. And so this, again, we'll tab in. You can see there's all these teeth over here, or excuse me, slots that you can use. Sorry for that noise outside. I live on a busy street, and here he goes. Easy peas, right? Easy peas, easy peas. And very good. In terms of transformation to the bot, it's also very easy as well. You just pop the face up over here. And this is kind of interesting, the way the arms work. You can see the shoulders, there's like a ball joint and like a lever type thing. And this is tabbed in. You see how there's this like empty cavity there? That's actually tapped into this bar. So I think that's cool. It's nice and clever in simple ways. You can bring that up, and pretty much that's the arm. I know they're super simplistic, but I think it's fine, man. I really, really do, especially at this scale. I don't know if that's supposed to collapse in like that. I don't. I know this kind of fits right there, but maybe that's just how it is. Who knows? Who cares? Because I'm just going to have these guys in Devastator mode like all the time. But here he is, man. Crusher of Bones, Marrow Smasher, Bonecrusher. Yeah. But yeah, this is kind of weird. I'm wondering if I'm supposed to have it more compact like that. That seems kind of strange. You know what I mean? But it is a little bit higher where it's supposed to be, but that bit won't sit inside that. The teeth won't correspond to that bit anymore. So maybe it's just like that. Who cares? Anyway, that's Bonecrusher. Let me move him to the side. We can take a look at Mixmaster. Just pop him off, and it's just on a circle peg and circle post. There's a double hinge over here, and so what you're going to do is you're going to hinge that down like that. Ta-da! That's the truck mode, dude. Yo, the windows are gnarly. They're placed in such random spots, you know what I mean? But that's the truck mode, and the tires, the wheels, they do move, and so that's fine. One thing that's kind of weird is, so check this out. When I undo the legs, and there is a little tab over here, so you got to be careful, make sure that it goes in there. So you open up the got to get in there. So you do this, and there's this little thing that flips down, which look like they're toes. But if that's the case, he's going to be standing at like a really weird angle, you know what I mean? And for the life of me, I haven't been able to find like a heel spur or something like that. So that just puts his legs in a very strange angle. I don't know, man. I think I'll just do without them, but whatever, dude. We'll just keep them there for now. But I thought that was kind of bizarre. I don't think they've taken any shortcuts or removed any of the engineering from Hulkie, except maybe an ankle tilt on Scrapper, like I mentioned before. But, yeah, otherwise, dude, that's him, man. That's him, and that's not the worst. Oh, you bring these down. That's not the worst thing in the world. This doesn't do anything, obviously. But for simplified kind of Legends guy who can, you know, turn into a combined form and also their alt mode, not too bad. Face does need a little help, though. The sculpt is kind of rough. But not bad, right? Not bad. Not bad. For Scrapper, we are going to need a spudger to kind of open this up. Oh, there we go. There we go. And pretty much that's it. I love how you can just transform them from their alt mode into their, their combined mode into the alt mode. It's super duper easy. And then to turn them into the bot mode, you're going to bring these arms out. Then you're going to swing this all down. And kudos to DX9, man. Like I said, dude, this is an old mold of a toy. I don't even know when Hulkie came out. It's such a long time ago. But the fact that they have breathed new life into it, well, it's not really DX9. It's this group called Xingjiang. And they kind of took DX9's engineering and they added the new head, added the drills and all this stuff. I can dig it, man. I can dig it. And it's too bad that Scrapper's face is not black. Otherwise, that would have been just perfect, you know, chef's kiss. But otherwise, he's not bad, man. Good looking head over here. It looks like Scrapper. I mean, does all the things and transformed pretty quickly as well. No fuss, no muss. And there we have him. And I think Scrapper is the leader of the Constructicons, right? I think so. And then here we have Mixmaster, or excuse me, Long Haul, and we have Hook. So this is plugged in right here, like I showed you earlier. But the other two places are right here. The arm. And so you just gently pry these out. There we go. This one's giving me a little bit more trouble. There we go. There we go. And we have the longest of hauls. This one kind of confused me in terms of the transformation. And so I might get it wrong again. But we'll try anyway. Because I do think this comes dislodged over here. And all of this will kind of sit in the back. Oh, you know what? Let's just start with the bot mode, because that's easier from here. And we'll just swing the legs down. These are on a hinge, and we can fold. Oh, that's tight. We can fold these back in. Those are the combiner knees. This will stay back here. I'm not exactly sure how it folds up, but I don't know, man. Do whatever you want, dude. But you could do that. Pop the head up. Spin that around. I hope the microphone isn't catching too much ambient noise right now, because there is a lot of it. Hopefully not. And cool. That's Long Haul with this kind of dump junk in the trunk. Don't really know what to do with it, but it's just there. It's not too bad. I think I've done it right. I mean, this looks like it's the front piece of his waist, his crotch area. I think that's right, man. Because I can't figure out any other way how to do it. Unless... yeah, because I don't think that looks right. It just looks like he has a huge diaper on or something. Maybe like that? I don't know, man. I don't think it really matters, to be honest. But the fact that he has something over here, I'm inclined to believe that this just kind of hides back there. But now he looks kind of plain. Huh. Maybe it is meant to be here. And we can just hide that. Whatever, dude. Doesn't really matter, dude. In order to transform him, this does need to go back over here, and it's going to do all this sorts of like weird stuff. This is going to pop out, and this whole thing is going to bend back. And this will allow you to bend this up. It will sit at a weird angle. And I'm trying to find that angle right now. Actually, in fact, I think this has to clear the legs. This is the one I think that gave me the most trouble. Yeah, and it's giving me the most trouble right now. Again, too. Because I don't remember how his arms are situated. I know this comes together. It's going to be something like that. But I'm wondering what happens with the arms. I thought this was going to hug this, but nah, it won't. All right, hold up for a second. Okay, I think I got it. And what it is you just got to move the arms back to the way they were in the combine mode. And then this will flip over. And if I've done it right, I feel like that space right there, yeah, will sit over that piece. Or these will sit in here or something like that. If I've done it right. Or that piece is going to sit in there. Now that actually might make more sense. Yeah, that makes more sense. That little tab is going to go in there. There you go, Jer. And now we just need to do something with that. That's either going to sit like that, or it's going to come up, or I don't know, man. I really can't quite figure out like what you're meant to do with this. Whatever, dude. Let's just look at him like that. Let's just look at him like that. And there we have him in his dump truck mode with this weird thing hanging off the back. Maybe it's a big license plate. I don't know. But yeah, here we have long haul. And certainly last but not least, we have the master builder. Where'd he go? Hook. And this is cool, man. This chest crest over here is actually the boom of the vehicle. And that's so creative, you know what I mean? And then what you're going to do over here is you're going to pull this out. And normally what would happen is this head, it can fit inside this cavity, and that's well done. But this newer head, because it resembles the G1 Devi, it will not. And so I've just been laying it kind of like that. And once it's fully depressed, if I was using the normal head, this would also just sit on top of it as well. But right now it's going to have to sit at this angle because the head is kind of protruding like that. And then this... we'll just kind of bend atop this area. And like that. And like I said, this would be completely depressed if it was the normal head, but it's not. And so that's that. And I don't think this extends out any further. And so there you go. Hook, but not really quite Hook, right? And then the way he transforms into bot mode. What's crazy is this is just attached to his head. That's far out, right? And then you just open this up. Then you bring that down. You turn to reveal the fist. And the face definitely needs a little bit of work. Bring that out. Yeah, I'm being quite forceful with this, you know. The plastic, again, is just very, very dense. If you scrape it against itself, yeah, you could potentially, like, harm it. But just by itself, man, it's taking all of my force and all of my whatever, dude, and it's responding very nicely. And here you go, Mr. Hook, Master Builder Extraordinaire. Not bad, right? So this entire set, $30 shipped from TFSafari. So we have Hook, we have Scrapper with the purple head, we have Long Haul with the weird skirt at the back that I couldn't quite figure out. Mixmaster, Master of Mix. We got Crusher of Bones, and then finally we got the Scavenger. And so yeah, man, that's been the Xingjiang Devastator set, an OS version of DX9's Hulkie with the new G1 head. Fits perfectly with your core class or your Blockies figures. And yeah, you can have a lot of fun just for a little extra change, you know. $30 ship, dude. That's less than the price of a Voyager from the main line. Gross. Gross. Meaning the Hasbro prices are too expensive. Anyway, pow, pow, pow. Talk to you soon. Bye.